What's up, YouTube? So now it's just flooding of news media and social media about Kia and Hyundai. You may qualify for a free engine replacement, and they say it's a bad engine. I will tell you this from my own experience. If you change your oil every 3,000 miles and don't follow their shitty regiments for changing oil, and don't overextend your oil changes, 4,000, 5,000, 10,000, 8,000, never 1,000, you will not have internal engine problems. That's a fucking fact. The problem is that manufacturers, meaning Kia and Hyundai and all these other jokers out here, are telling people to go 5,000 miles on a synthetic oil change. Oil analysts have said at 7,500,000 miles on most engines, not diesel engines, that oil is done. 7,500 miles, completely done. No air protection left. It's starting to find metal traces in the oil at 7,500. They don't know if that engine burns oil. They may know by a carbon test. They don't know how many times it's been ran low at 7,500 miles. They don't know the oil consumption rate. They probably don't know the fuel that's in the engine either, but I'm sure they can figure that out. So at 5,000 miles, right, if you just do the math, at 7,500, 100% of your engine oil is garbage. So go to 5,000 miles when you're saying change your oil. Do the math. So we're going to say around 60%. Am I saying that right? So no, 7,500 spanked. Yeah, so 80% of the oil at 5, that's 80%, I want to say. Well, maybe 75. Well, who cares? Just use some round numbers. 7,500 engine oil analysis say your engine oil is no good for your engine and it's garbage. At 5,000 miles, what do you think it is? It's not good. It's not great. It's okay. Should you do it? No. 5,000 miles is not even a good indicator. On a brand new engine, you may have less of an issue. On an engine that has high mileage on it, has never been maintained, you are in the danger zone. With majority of the population can't even do simple maintenance. They can't afford simple maintenance or don't do simple maintenance, don't believe in simple maintenance. And the service departments don't even advise simple maintenance to do this. So now Kia and Hyundai have this all on their own. They're not the only ones. They're the ones who are getting beat with the stick. Mercedes does the same shitty shit. BMW does the same shitty shit. All the manufacturers out there do not recommend the right ways to maintain. Listen up out here. The manufacturers do not recommend the right service intervals for any of these vehicles out here. And I don't care if you have the best synthetic oil in the market. You are not running your oil changes to 7,500 miles based on facts from oil analysis. Your oil is garbage at 7,500 miles. Garbage. If you have a dirty engine, it's garbage before that. And if you have an engine that has stuck rings and carbon buildup and sludge deposits, it's garbage before that. So if Kia and Hyundai would actually recommend changing the oil at the right service and at the right intervals for these vehicles, and some need it sooner than later, and maybe some can go based on the design. And what stems this is my stepfather has driven Kia Souls, I can't tell you for how long, has never lost an engine, always used good oil, and changed his oil regularly. 200,000-300,000 miles, no problem, no issues. Misfire happens, tunes it up right away. Engine light comes on for oxygen sensor, changes it right away. Filters, just regular routine maintenance. It's not even that expensive. So many engine failures are because of the consumer not maintaining their car, overextending the oil change. If you tell someone they can go 5,000 miles on their oil change, they're going to go 8, they're going to go 10, they're going to go to never. If you tell them 3, you'll have a better chance of seeing that customer in at 5, which my opinion is 5,000 miles is way too long on any oil today. I don't care if it's crude, synthetic, aircraft, you make it yourself. It's way too long. Way too long. And by the time we start seeing these cars at 50, 40,000 miles, the damage is done. Stuck rings at 10,000 miles and sticky rings and 20,000 miles and 30,000 miles is overextended oil changes. Period. Overextended oil changes. And once that occurs inside the engine, there's almost no reversal. We can try, but there is no reversal. Once there's bearing damage and all that stuff, and piston rings are stuck, and all, you're done. You're talking about a car that has less than 100,000 miles on average that we see now, is burning 2 to 3 quarts of oil in 3,000 miles. A quart of oil every 500 miles. On average is what I'm documenting right now. 500 miles. I have customers coming back that have oil consumption. 500 miles, a quart of oil is gone. So 1,000 miles, 1 quart. Right? So do the math. 2,000 miles, 2 quarts. 3,000 miles, do the math. So no wonder these engines are blowing up and locking up. These consumers are driving around thinking, oh my God, I just had an oil change at the dealership. And it says come back in 5,000 miles, but my oil light's on only at 3,000 miles, and I check my oil, there's no oil in the stick. Well, it's not empty, it's almost empty. And they might top it off, and they might call the dealership, and they might get some bullshit. But for the majority of the population who drives around like this and gas and go, they don't believe in filters and throttle body services and fuel injection, just hurry up and change my oil, I just need a quick oil change. They're driving down the road. The sticker says 5,000. The oil life says it's got 80%, and then bang, the engine starts running bad, starts knocking, or it seizes up. Overextended oil changes is the problem. Overextended oil changes is the problem. And Kia and Hyundai, and if you listen to some of these people in our industry, and I've talked to some service techs, very little maintenance going on in the service departments. Now, I don't know if it's the people who are buying these vehicles that can't afford it. I don't know. I don't have the answer. I know I change my oil in all my vehicles every 3,000 miles. Every 3,000 miles. I'm not blowing up engines. I've been driving. I'm going to be 51 in March. I started driving when I was 17. I've had multiple cars. I've never lost an engine. Isn't that amazing? I've never lost an engine. I change my oil every 3,000. Dirt bikes, race bikes, quads, all kinds of stuff. My dirt bikes, my race dirt bikes, after almost every ride, I would change the oil on my dirt bikes. If it was one ride, it may have been 2. Never hours. I never went by hours. Oil got changed. A quart of oil is $10 for that, or $15. What's an engine? 4,000 or 5,000. What's an engine for a car today? 10,000, 20,000? I don't even know. The problem starts in the dealerships. The next problem is the consumer. The next problem is the industry. Someone needs to really get at this and educate the population. Change your oil every 3,000 miles. Check your oil every time you get gas. There's nobody who has enough sense at the gas stations anymore that can check your oil and tell you anything about it. You have a better chance of asking them what was their Instagram message last, or who texted them last, before you're going to get, can you check my oil? They're going to look at you like, check your oil? What is that? I don't even own a car. So yeah, I'm just going to show you. It is not a bad design engine. I just heard someone else